So moving ahead and understanding the guideline how to transcribe the audio files which have been assigned to the transcribers, which will be assigned to the transcribers. So basically the first point comes here, the characters and spatials. So characters and spatial symbols wherein including the numbers as well. So characters and numbers and spatial symbols like numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, or even a Roman numbers has to be written down in alphabetical form, and symbols has to be written in alphabetical form. For an example, dollar signs, it should not be, the sign should not come here dollar, it should be written DOLLAR dollar. So just for to understand better this, here is an example. I have like dollar zero, I have like $0. Even the slash, it was weird, great weird slash, so it was great slash weird. 6 plus 6 is equal to 12. So it says that 6 plus 6 equals to 12. And even for mail IDs, my email is iruby@gmail.com. So it should be written while doing the transcription. While doing the transcription, my email is i-ruby@gmail.com. Below is the set of spatial markup symbols used in the transcription to indicate certain features, events in the audio file. For example, unintelligible speech, code mixing. So let's understand the symbols, name, and their use case. So first symbol is angle brackets, and these angle brackets will be used for tags, opening and closing of tags. Colon will be used with the tags. Double parenthesis for around unintelligible speech. So as your transcriber might be an experienced, so they might understand what is unintelligible speech. Unintelligible speech would be like which is not properly able to understand or not clearly audible. So in that case, instead of transcribing the wrong word, it's better you put a double parenthesis to avoid such kind of mistakes. Has to be used with filler words. Now filler words like uh, so these are filler words. So we have a separate list of filler words which are supposed to be used in the transcription. Slash will be used with along with the angle brackets and closing markups. Square brackets will be used for tags like non-speech tags, wherein the music, noise, no speech, all these will be coming here. Till will be used to indicate the truncated speech. Now moving ahead for the spelling and grammar. So spelling and grammar, we see the example is all well and good, darling. So is all well and good, darling. So it's all well and good, darling. So this part has to be, if the statement in the audio, if in the audio it says in this way, then we have to transcribe it in a proper standard form, which is like it's all well and good, darling. I am from the west side. So I am from the west side. Transcribe the mispronunciation using the standard spelling. So call your representative. Call your representative. This is the correct transcription which we are supposed to do. Similarly, when we move over the non-standard usage, so wherein a transcriber speaker's utterances verbatim, even in cases where the speaker's utterances do not conform to the standard grammar of the language, do not correct grammatical mistakes. So anything spoken in the audio is not correct as per the grammatical standard, so we don't have to change it or correct it, we have to write it as it is there in the audio. So he been done work, so it should be transcribed as he been done work. We be playing basketball after work, we be playing basketball after work, so it should be written as it is. Where is the grammatical mistakes? Spell check all transcription files after transcription is complete. When in doubt about the spelling of the word or name, consult the American Heritage Dictionary, which is already given in the link. This is the link, https American Heritage Dictionary, sorry. To reference the names of song titles, movies, TV shows, brands, etc. Use a credible website on the internet. Moving ahead for the capitalization. So capitalization is a very important word for very important part for the transcriptions. I want to visit Oregon. So it's fine. I want to visit Oregon. I work at NASA. So Oregon is basically the first letter of the Oregon O, alphabet O should be in capital letter. I work at NASA. The all NASA, NASA should be in capital form. I'm going to Mexico on Thursday. So city's name, days, it should be in the first letter of the word should be capital. Similarly, moving ahead for the abbreviations. So even for the abbreviation, we have to type the full word. Like he's 6'2". So he is 6'2". Talk to Dr. Smith immediately. So instead of doctor, you cannot write Dr. Talk to Dr. Smith immediately. Use an abbreviation only if the speaker explicitly pronounces the word is abbreviated. Don't add the period after an abbreviated word unless it appears at the end of the sentence. I live in Cambridge, Mass. I live in Cambridge, Mass. Billie Jean King went to the Cal State. Billie Jean King went to the Cal State. The titles Miss, Mrs., Mr., MX that prefix a person's name are considered words in their own right, not abbreviations. When used as titles, transcribe them as it is. So, Miss, Mrs., Mr., it should be written in this form only because it is considered words in their own right, right? So, moving ahead, Mr. Smith this way, please. Mr. Smith this way, please. So, we'll have to see for the prepositions, pronunciations, and the comma, apostrophes, everything. It should be well in placed. When used as a direct addresses without following a name, transcribe them as spelled out forms. Mr. or Mrs. Hey Mister, can you please help me with this survey? Hey Mister, can you please help me with this survey? So here it is clearly mentioned Mister, right? So accordingly, if an audio it says complete Mister, then you can type it as Mister. Moving towards the contraction, standard contraction must be transcribed as they pronounce. Isn't, where is all, include apostrophe in the all the spelling. Transcribe the following contraction as a single word. Gimme. Gimme is very silly. Give me. Gonna. Gotta. Lemmy. Wanna. Watcha. Kinda. So these are the contraction words. Individual spoken letters transcribe individual spoken letters as capital letters separated by space. My name is J. My name is John. John. So it should be written as my name is John. John. This does not apply to initialism. This only applies when I say, hey, my name is Pankaj. Pankaj. This is an audio file. So accordingly, you have to transcribe it. If I say my name is Pankaj, I'll not say in the audio Pankaj. So it is not required basically. So when it is required, we'll have to do it. And this does not apply in the short forms like IVM, FBI, right? Numbers, spell out the numbers. 5, 5th, 11th percent, 306, 306, 306. So 306 can be transcribed as 306, 306, 306, 306. It purely depends on the audio file. In an audio file, it says that my flat number is 306. We have to write 306. My flat number is 306. So it should be transcribed 306. My flat number is 306. So it should be transcribed 306 or 306 depending on how it was pronounced. Play radio 109.4 FM. Play radio 109.4 initial FM. Now initial is like because this is an initial word. Initialism. This comes under the category of initialism. Like for an example for IBM. So IBM will be transcribed in this form with the initials. FBI will be transcribed in this form with the initials. Beverly Hills 90210. Beverly Hills 90210. Whatever the in the audio file it is pronounced. When spelling out the numbers, use hyphens as required the rules of the language. In English, numbers from 21 to 29 are spelled with hyphens. Others are not hyphenated. 25, 300. 2552. 1945. This way. Moving over towards the punctuation marks, only apostrophes, comma, exclamation points, hyphens, periods, question marks should be used as punctuation marks. Don't use any other English pronunciation punctuation, example semicolons, question marks, quotation marks. Use these punctuations as required by the grammar rules. First, periods. Use period only at the end of the complete sentence. That is a statement. That's in Indian language we call it as a full stop. Question marks. Use a question mark only after a direct question or a tag question. Isn't that simple? You know the answer, don't you? So as per the language, if you think that, for an example, if I'm speaking, if the audio is in Punjabi, and Punjabi, when a person is working in Punjabi, they say, "Oh, ki hal hai?" So it should be a question mark. Basically, in Hindi, we convert it as like "kya hal," right? So in this way, exclamation points at the end of the sentence when you feel or hear an empathetic stress or intonation. Exclamation point usually marks an outcry or an empathetic or ironic comment. Like for example, wow, what a wonderful movie. Wow. And here comes the exclamation. So that's the biggest pumpkin I have ever seen. When will I ever learn? So where to use the punctuation exclamation marks? This become more easier. Use commas, break up long stretches of speech. This is to facilitate reader comprehension. Below are the some suggestions of when a comma should be used. To separate items in a list of three or more, using a serial, aka Oxford comma, that is comma before the conjunction that joins the last two elements. Oh, I enjoy skydiving, snowboarding, and mountain biking. To set up a direct address. Oh, Mariam, listen to me carefully. Hey, buddy, what are you doing? So, hey, buddy, comma, what are you doing? Oh, I'm not calling you, my friends, just to whine about my life. To break up compound and complex sentences. Oh, I would like to join you, but I'm afraid I have a class at that time. Oh, Marcos, I couldn't go to the jazz concert, so we watched it on TV instead. To set off introductory words or phrases, therefore, they cancelled the trip. After taking a break, the team resumed the meeting. Around parenthetical phrases, that report in the New York Times was, to say the least, a bombshell. Getting an exciting deal like the one last year would be awesome. Similarly, moving ahead for the word internal pronunciations, use apostrophes, contractions, possessives of individual letters, possessive s or as a part of person's name. That's where it's at. So it should be pronounced at, it should be transcribed at. That's where it's at. Project Q's timeline. Project Q's timeline. Sign it O corner, 11 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So this is how we are going to use the apostrophes. And when it comes to hyphens, so here's a few example English compound words that can sometimes must use hyphens. A line, a day, ex-boyfriend, ex-drummer, extra loud, self-aware, t-shirt. These are the examples of some words by using the hyphens. Let's go to Chick-fil-A. When transcribing language other than English, use punctuation symbols, rules that are appropriate for that language. Now, this is a very important point that we have to understand, because in this particular project, we don't have English language. We have Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Odisha, Punjabi, and different, right? So, based on that language, you have to identify the punctuation marks, how to be used. This could happen when a speaker the speaker switches to a foreign language in the middle of a segment. In this case, the foreign punctuation symbol should be within the foreign language. So, for example, if I'm doing a Telugu file and apart from Telugu, let's say for one sentence or two word or three word might be spoken in some other word, in some other language. So it should become in the foreign language. Hey all, hola, sorry I'm late. So Spanish, hola, ¿cómo estás? It's a Spanish. Some punctuation uses stylistic and subjective. Difference of opinions are not necessarily errors. Moving ahead for acronyms and initialisms. I work for NASA. So you can see that AIDS has a great impact on society. COVID has become a global pandemic. Initialism referred terms spoken as a series of letters. IBM, IMDb, HTTP. Should be I work for IBM. So I work for IBM. I like ZZ Top. I like ZZ Top. HTTP www.gmail.com. So HTTP //www. initial.gmail.com. Right. Use periods only for the initials standing for given names. White, George W. Bush. Otherwise, no period is needed in initialism. George W. Bush paints now. George W would be initial. Dot Bush paints now. Do not include plural markers or the possessive markers within the initial tags. Moving ahead for some more detail in the guideline. Welcome to the Ordinary Wizarding Level Examinations, OWLs, more commonly known as OWLs. Welcome to the Ordinary Wizarding Level Examinations. Initial OWL, more commonly known as OWLs. George W.'s dog was a Scottish Terrier. So George W. dot initials S, dog was a Scottish Terrier. So this particular statement you can understand that George W. W's dog was a Scottish Terrier. So George is a normal transcription required with a capital G. Initial W apostrophe S will be outside the initial tag. Dog was a Scottish Terrier. Initialism are treated as words don't break up an initial with any tags and do not include any other tags with the initial tags. I'll be taking my S set next month. This is just an example. I'll be taking a set next month. So I'll be taking my cuff. Then SAT initial next month. The word okay or okay is always transcribed as okay. Spoken individual letters, proper names that are spelled out are not initialism. Don't require initial tags. Disciplined speech. Make a best effort to transcribe stumbled speech and repetitions according to what you hear after listening to the segment a few times. Direction to the hotel. Direction to the hotel. Use tills to indicate the truncated words whether the beginning or the end. Alexa, stop the music. LA tilted sign. Alexa, stop the tilt the music. Play Janet Jackson. Alexa, play Janet Jackson. Now, in the second sentence and in this example, they have not pronounced as Alexa. It's Alexa. So A as missed. So instead of A, tilde. Alexa, play a Janet Jackson. No, wait. No, it's Chomsky who said that. So it should be transcribed in this manner. Now coming back to the filler words which we have spoken earlier. So these are the language wise filler words are already given. So I won't be able to understand these words, right? So see, as we have discussed, that has shine to be used before the filler words, in front of the filler words. So for in Tamil, these are the filler words. So let's understand what is this. I'm just trying to understand. Just we'll see this. See, now I got the answer. This is just for better understanding. Similarly, we'll see this Tamil word, filler word. What is it actually? See this. This is what is more important to understand. This will make us more understand in a proper manner. Right. So these are all my filler words which are supposed to be used in the languages. Now moving towards the unintelligible speech, wherein I say Alexa play question mark on Spotify. Alexa play. Now question mark is that something which might have spoken in the audio file, but it is not properly audible or clearly audible. In that case, what we can do is we can use the double parenthesis. If the transcriptionist has a guess about the speaker's word, transcribe what they think. They hear within the double parenthesis. Alexa read from audible. Alexa read cat in the hat from audible. So if it is related to somewhat what you have understood, or you can understand a partial kind of thing, so you can, in that way you can mention it. It depends on the audio file basically. Moving ahead, the non-target language. When a speaker switches to a language other than English, place a tag. So other than the regional language which we are going to work on the project, so you can use a language foreign tag or the language which is available. So the location when the switch between language begins. Lang foreign when the switch ends, end with this. This is an end. If the transcriptionist can ambiguously identify the non-target language, replace the foreign with a language name in the text. Capitalize the first letter of the language name. Transcribe the speech of the non-target language using the standard orthography of non-target language. If the transcriptionist understands the language, otherwise transcribe the non-target languages. You have to finish todo esto porco. I have other things to do. You have to finish. Now this is which I can't understand. Basically it's in Spanish language, and I know this is in Spanish language, so I'll just put this tag of language Spanish opening todo esto porco. So I will close the Spanish tag and I have other things to do. I'd like to tell her QANOLA QRO. I like to tell her again. Now I don't understand what is this. Might be I will not be able. I might not be able to transcribe it properly because all these things will be in the audio. So as per your understanding, you will put it in that way. So similarly, you can understand this in this way. So moving ahead, non-speech tags. So these are the non-speech tags where a cry, laugh, which are supposed to be in the square brackets. Cry, cry, laugh, applause, background speech, music, noise, human vocal noise, crying or sobbing, human vocal noise, laughing and chuckling, clapping, background speech in the background while speakers are not speaking. Other noise, music, noise, other miscellaneous noises not covered on the list above, screaming. And but for transcribe is an option for the users where they can click on this option and they can start transcribing the audio files which has been assigned to them. So let's move to the transcribe options. Once you click on the transcribe options, it will take you to the main page of the transcription where I'm getting the majorly three options. One is new file, second is draft, third is completed. So in new files, you can check number is given 2. So basically this number represents the number of files assigned to a particular user. So this is my login ID. I have logged into the transcription tool. So two files have been assigned to me. One is this SME 16 kilohertz and one is Indian English 16 kilohertz. And here the duration of the file is given, and this pencil marks is basically to start the transcription. So if you want to start the transcription, we have to click on this pencil marks. Second option is draft. There is a one file, and in draft section you will find those files which are partially completed or not. Once the user have opened that file but didn't even started the work, automatically that file will move to a draft sections. So in a simple language, we can consider all the partially completed files without submitting. It will be kept in the draft sections, and completed, you can see all the files which we have completed from our end as a user and submitted and sent for the next quality level or this CQA level or to the client will reflect in the completed sections. So moving ahead back to the new file sections. So here I'm getting the two files, and apart from that we have this. These are the options wherein I can find the user guide, a manual guide for this, how to use the platform and everything. This will be shown here in this content, and similarly you can have the user guideline for different second option, which is a latest version of 2.0 PDF version. So first one was 1.0 and second one is 2.0. That's an updated one. So you can open it from here. Next option is a guideline. So guidelines, all the transcription guidelines are available here in different languages like Hindi, Telugu, English, Polish, Singaporean, and all that, right? Next option is like query. So this particular option is widely used in majority cases wherein if a transcriber is facing some technical issues, he's not able to transcribe or getting some error while submitting the file. So in those cases, what user can do, user can take a screenshot of that error, whatever he is getting. He can put the message over here, whatever message he is getting while submitting or while transcribing. You can enter the message and attach the screenshot over here, and you can simply click on submit option. So for an example, see, I have just for an example. So this is my error for an example. Can't submit. So I have entered I've attached the screenshot over here, and then I'll click on send button. It will automatically go to the technical team and they will check and resolve the issues, whatever the transcribers are facing. Till the time the problem gets resolved, that file will automatically move to the draft sections, and without wasting up even a single minute, if those such cases appears, then you can put that file into the draft after raising the query, and you can start with the new files. So it will help you to give your productivity and increase your efficiency and productivity both basically, right? So third option is a home option. If you'll click on the home option, it will take us to the back, like the front page wherein I was getting two options of controller and transcribe. So this is the second page. Now, as discussed, that we are going to start the transcription process over here. So before we start the transcription process, let's understand the guideline once again. So here's the transcription guidelines, and transcription guideline says that each and every character has to be used in a specific manner. So for an example, characters and spatial symbols. So don't use numbers. The first point is that we are not going to use the numbers. Spatial symbols like dollar, plus, at the rate to transcribe spoken words. Like for an example, I have like $0. So this, the audio says, this is just an example how it, they have given an example. So for an example, audio says that I have like $0 or $0. So it should not be transcribed in this form. That numbers and symbols should not be used. It should be transcribed like in this form. This is the perfect way to transcribe this kind of sentences. Like transcription should all include only upper and lower case letters, apostrophes, commas, exclamation marks, hyphens, periods, question marks, spaces, and limited set of special marks of symbols. Right. This is for character and special symbols. It was great slash weird. It was great slash weird. So slash will only come if that word is being used. Right? So 6 plus 2, 6 plus 6 is equal to 12. 6 plus 6 equals 12. So this is how we are going to transcribe. For an example, if I'll talk about the mail ID, so my mail is i-ruby@gmail.com. So it will be, my email is i dash. So this hyphen is been taken considered as dash, and i dash ruby at the rate gmail.com. Below is the set of special markup symbols used in transcription. So there are some more like greater than, smaller than. These are basically known as angle brackets. So around opening and closing of tags. Colon in conjunction with angle brackets, slash or non-target language. Example, language, foreign, opening and closing. Double parenthesis around unintelligible speech or a word. Any word or any sentence where you find a lot of problem in understanding, the voice is not clear, might be the word is pronounced in such manner that I'm not able to understand. In that case, you can put a double parenthesis and go ahead. So this can be used. Hashtag in front of all the filler words. Filler words, will discuss what are the filler words and all that. So hash, slash sign, square brackets around non-speech tags like music, tilde to indicate the truncated speech, like halfly spoken words. Spelling and grammars will need to take care as per the guidelines. Transcribe dialectal pronunciation using the spelling of the standard forms usually, unless such dialectal pronunciations are codified in an accepted written version of the dialect. Is all well and good, darling? It's all well and good, darling. So this is the proper way to transcribe this particular sentence. So you need to understand. This is just an English examples given. I know that the particular project has totally Indian regional languages, but just to understand the transcription process, we are taking help of this particular sentences, right? So let's move back to the audio file. So what I'll do is I'll click on this file. As I've told you that clicking on plus sign will take us to the transcription page. So here we are. So just a moment. So before we start the transcriptions, so this is a play option wherein I'll simply click on the, so it has started, and the duration will reflect here. Here is the like seconds, milliseconds options are given, and here the guidelines as it is. One option is added over here, which is the speakers. Like for an example, there are 2 or 3 speakers. So similarly for speaker 1, we have to update the details, like speaker 1 is a male, like gender is male, nativity from where he belongs to, and speaker 2 is a female for an example, or a male itself, no issues. So accordingly we'll have to update the speaker details in the transcriptions. Now moving ahead, this is a very important part of the project, because for this platform actually, because shortcut list. For this shortcut list, once you click on this, it will open all the shortcut options which can be used in this particular platform, like control plus shift plus this greater than sign, increase speed, smaller than sign, decrease speed, control plus alt plus z, reset speed, F2 play or pause audio, F3 backward audio. So all these are the shortcuts which can be used in this particular platform to work, because this will help your productivity to be increased, right? So here we can click on play option. This is a role of a individual user. For an example, if it is written here QA, that means that user has to go for the quality analyst, and if it is written TR, that means I'm going to transcribe. I'm a transcriber, so I'm going to transcribe the file. And in page 1 or 2, so for an example, if a file is more than like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, or maybe 10 minutes, depends, so might be multiple pages of the file has to be transcribed. And the file domain is debate, speech, and talks. So what we have to do, how we are going to transcribe it. So for an example, so if you see the tag, it is given noise. So we were talking about this. First we'll discuss this part first. So here it is noise, because once you play the sound, so only the sound is coming and nothing else. So only the sound is coming. So for an example, it is noise and I have to change it to some other. What are options that I'm going to get here? Music is there, overlap. So how we can change these options? You can simply press the shift button along with the arrow key, left and right arrow. So for an example, if I'm pressing the left arrow along with shift key, so babble is coming, speech, noise, music, so whatever. So what I'll do is I'll change it accordingly. I'll again play this audio. So basically what is happening here, we are getting a background noise, so I'll put it as a noise. Just a moment. And no speech is there, so I'll just leave it. And second is, like, for an example, if it is a speech.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice message. Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice message.
So your call has been forwarded to an automated voicemail. So it is already given. So what we'll do is we'll just write down it again. Your call has been automatic voicemail. So this is done. So for an example, if you want to use the filler sign, so simply you can put the number 2, press number 2 for, and the filler sign are like so based on the languages it may differ. So as per the guideline, you might be getting a different filler words for different languages. So for an example, this could be a sentence. Your call has been forwarded to the automatic voicemail. So you can use filler sign. So for an example, if you press number 1, so you will be getting a number of different options, like in square brackets, no speech. If a background speech is coming, and along with background speech, if a person speaking, like your call has been forwarded to the automatic voicemail, you can simply select the background speech. You can have the double parenthesis, beep sound, lip smack, breath, cough. Your call has been forwarded to the automatic voicemail. So this way we are going to transcribe it. So this is how we are going to do it actually, right? So this is one way of doing it. Let's get back to the this transcription guideline. So for the mispronounced words like representative and representative, it's simple. So it totally depends on the audio file. So whatever has been spoken in the audio file, accordingly you have to transcribe it. So going ahead in the transcription, so capitalization is something very important. I want to visit Oregon. So I want to visit Oregon. I work at NASA. So I work at NASA. I'm going to Mexico on Thursday. I'm going to Mexico on Thursday. It's simple. It should be like transcribed in similar form. Especially for abbreviations, if we see he's 6 feet 2 inches. So he's 6 feet 2. Talk to Dr. Smith immediately. Talk to Dr. Smith immediately. I live in Cambridge, Mass. I live in Cambridge, Mass. Billie Jean King went to Cal State. Billie Jean King went to the Cal State. The titles Mrs., Miss, Mr., MX that prefix a person's name are considered words in their own right, not abbreviations. So when you use titles and transcribe them as MS, MRS, MR, or MX. Mr. Smith, this way please. Mr. Smith, this way please. So it should be transcribed in this form only. So contraction. So let's see about the contraction. Standard contractions must be transcribed as they are pronounced. Example isn't where, why, all. Transcribe the following contraction as a single word: gimme, gonna, gotta, lemmy, wanna, watcha, kinda. So these are the smallest words. Like when we, as in, sorry, when we speak to the people, like, give me that pen. I'm gonna do that. I got that. Let me check. So these kind of words which we are going to see the contraction. So similarly, we'll go for the spoken letters, transcribe individual spoken letters as capital letters separated by a space. My name is John, John. So my name is John, my name is John, John. So we'll see some examples of writing the names. Like for an example, I'm just considering and taking consideration in this file particular. So this will help us to just work on this file and to understand the transcription process. So for an example, my name is John, John. Right. So this way we can transcribe the statements. So similarly, all the numbers has to be written as a 5, 5th, 11th percent. So numbers should not be used. It should be in the alphabetical form. So this is how we are going to transcribe the entire audio files. Like periods, when to use the periods, question marks and everything. So basically a grammatical portion of the guideline is given here, so we can understand and we can do it. So once it is done, so for an example, once it is done, the last step is, once the transcription is completed, so what you have to do is you have to click on the send option. It will ask you to send to QA or send to BB. So basically your role is for the transcription. Once you complete the transcription, it will directly, you'll have to send the file to the QA. So you can select the send to QA and send. So this is how you can complete the transcription process. Now apart from that, let's get back to the guideline part, wherein as per the languages I was talking about the filler words as per the language. So Tamil filler words are here. You can see all these filler words are Tamil, all these filler words are Kannada, Malayalam, Bengali, Gujarati, Marathi, Assamese, Odia, Punjabi and Telugu. So all these fillers are given. So you just have to enter the filler words in similar format. So for an example, if I have to enter the filler word over here, so I'll just simply press the 2. So based on the language, as of now we are working on the English file. That's the reason we are getting the English filler word. So for an example, if I would be working on the Gujarati file, so I would be getting, after pressing 2, I would be getting a Gujarati filler words. So this way you can use the filler words wherever it is required. This is how we are going to do the transcription. So for an example, in case of any doubt, please get in touch with us. Thank you very much.